he gonna go out there and fucking put up 30, like you were saying. If he scores the ball, bro, like nobody else really does what he does in the assist category and the rebounding category. So it's like
Yeah.
if he's getting 35,
They're just saying that like he just makes it look easy. Long story short, like he could get it to it anyway. He can score 40, or he could get 30 points, 15 assists, 20 rebounds. Type shit. You know, like it's how you want
yeah,
it with him.
We busy, 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 we busy. That bitch so pretty, got a mean girl just like Lindsay. Said she fucking with me, making drives across the city. Swear this shit can get too litty. Pushing be like Diddy, you ain't B-boy, who you kidding? At the top, I see you there. In LA, I see you there. At the space, I see you there. Texas State, I see you there. I know y'all go crazy, y'all be turning up in the square. Take another pill and we can turn up just by anywhere. Hit you in and say yeah, just to see if there's a feelings there.
what's going on, man? It's Three Man Weave, and I'm your main host. I like to say, I like to steal the thunder from CJ sometimes whenever I'm doing the intro.
No pun
Um,
intended.
I'm going. Yeah, I'm going. I ain't even realized that. That's crazy. But I'm CD, man. I'm gonna be the main host today. I'm doing the introduction, and I'm with the lovely co-host today, CJ. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, how
But
y'all?
yeah,
How
no,
y'all
it's
doing?
three, right?
Yeah. Season
Yeah,
3, episode
three.
3. We're
Okay,
back
for
at it.
sure. Yeah, no, we're back with it, man. We're coming at you live right now. We're on Discord today, as you guys may not have seen in our last episode. It was also remote as well. Hopefully, there were some technical difficulties. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully, we can smooth those out. And yeah, I mean, let's get right into it, man. I was gonna start with some injuries, bro, if you want, man, and if I can let you start with probably the worst one if you
Man,
want to go.
come on, man. Get better, Chet. He just got injured yesterday. I think he like fractured his tailbone or something like that. Let me just double check, but he's projected to be out 8 to 10 weeks, which is a huge loss, bro. We went against the Warriors last night. We were really getting blown out, and then we kind of went on a run towards the fourth quarter. I think we ended up losing by like 9 or 11.
Hey, am I crazy? I think y'all will be okay.
You think so?
Yeah, once Hartenstein comes back,
Once
bro.
okay, I was gonna get into that. The only reason why I said I think I'm a little worried is just because we have no big man right now. Like we
Yeah,
literally
not
don't have a big man. I think we were playing Caruso at the
yeah,
5 type of thing, which is
for sure.
nuts. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
um, it just
Some Drew
sucks.
Holiday stuff.
Type yeah, type. Which I mean, I don't think I'm not really worried about the team per se. Like we can probably still be pretty good offensively. It's just defensively when we're going against a center that can take over a game, or a big man that can take like a power forward. You know, it's gonna be tough. Like we have really good perimeter defenders, but realistically, who's gonna be getting the boards? You know, like
Right.
J Dub maybe. You know what I mean? Or like maybe
Yeah, of course.
Caruso. Like we have players that
Yeah,
can hustle and they play really well. It's just kind of like it just sucks because we were doing so well without Hartenstein, of course, and now we lose our number one center. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's just gonna make our
I
team
mean,
better. But
he was playing at an all-star level, you could say, right?
yeah,
He probably was an all-star for
I
sure.
agree. I mean, and it just sucks because it's so much time. But at least it's at the beginning of the season, so
Oh, bro, it's so much time,
it's
but
like 2 months minimum. But I mean, like I said, that's the only thing I'm worried about because I was watching us play last night, and I was like, where the fuck? Like, we're playing all 5 guys right now. The tallest person on the court is probably J Dub, and
yeah,
he's
they're gonna go
six
small a
seven,
lot.
6'8". Like,
Yeah, they're gonna go small a lot. I mean, they're gonna have to. And
yeah,
I think the beauty about having Caruso is you can go small. My goodness, like I
he
think
he
last
is.
year they would have been more screwed, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think
Yeah,
we have just better defenders, and we're also a year older. Shout out
right.
to fucking Aaron Wiggins. I don't know if y'all see this
Yeah, for
meme, but
real,
it's like,
bro.
oh my gosh, I love you so much, and it's like I'm just Aaron Wiggins or so, or you saved basketball. That's what they always say. I mean, it's like a
Yeah,
pitcher. It's like I'm just Aaron Wiggins, bro. He is.
100%.
I don't think people understand because we got Caruso, we got Hartenstein. It's like they didn't really probably pay attention to the people we re-signed, and we have them for like 4 years. Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins,
Oh,
Kaysen Wallace has been hooping. We have some dogs, bro. It's just like I said, when it comes to a big man, when we go against y'all, when we go against the Nuggets, when we go against even the Knicks, they got Cat. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Nationals.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be battles. I don't mean. Hold on, I'll just look at the next 10 for the Thunder and see who they got, and realistically, who I think. Um, okay, so we play the Clips tonight. I think that's a manageable.
Yeah,
Harden,
yeah, of course.
Norman
I mean,
Powell is doing good, but
they are on a back-to-back though.
they are. And that shit
But
was a battle. Like I said, they were down. We were down by like 27 at one point, and I think we got it
yeah,
within 5. So I don't think.
even
No, sorry.
what's up?
I was about to say I don't think it's the players are gonna go out and ball out, which I think is great because I think this is where for me as a fan that I wanted to see. I wanted to see if they're like battle tested, right? Like this
Um,
NBA is a long season, bro. Like we talk about it all the
yeah,
time. 82
the
games,
cup's coming up too.
cups coming up.
Yeah,
Like there's gonna be stuff to play for. It just sucks that you know our
yeah.
potential DPOY is gonna be out for so
I
long.
think this is where Shea gets to these 30 balls now, man. Like he's gonna have to score and
Yeah,
play a lot of minutes
yeah.
during this period.
He did well against the Rockets. He hooped,
Yeah,
and then we lost against the Warriors. Or my bad, Nuggets. But that was also like
Nuggets.
a fucking legacy game for Russ. So I wasn't mad at
Yeah.
it. Not gonna lie.
No, man.
Um,
Yeah, bro. I mean, yeah, it's just a shame, and even just to go through some of these injuries, so our audience can kind of understand the gravity of some of these around the league. It's not just Chet. I mean, Paulo's out for 2 months as well. I think Ja is also hurt with like I think a hip flexion or something.
uh,
Some weird injury. Anthony Davis got poked in the eye.
really?
So he was, yeah, bro. Yesterday, for some reason in the third quarter, man, he just went up for a block, and unfortunately, like the dude's hand just got caught in his eye, and so he was out. So he's going to see like an eye doctor today, I think, because it was yesterday.
Really?
Um,
I didn't even know that.
yeah, bro. And then Chet as well. And then who else? I think there was another. Bro, the Pelicans. Oh, that's what I was gonna talk to you about. There you go, bro. I mean, I'm sure you've seen their roster.
Mm.
They need to pick up free agents off like the waiver wire, bro. They don't have a team right now. I think Bi, CJ, Dejounte, Jordan Hawkins, who if y'all don't know, who's been hooping probably for 2 years now, but he was finally getting some opportunities. He got hurt. Zion just recently got hurt too as well.
He
I think
did.
with the dual quad injuries. So there's been a lot of injuries around the NBA right now, man. It's kind of crazy. I saw something on Twitter. I think I'm sure you've seen them, but like Underdog Fantasy, all these like sleeper, like all these gambling pick'em sites or whatever. They put out some of these injury reports, and I'm seeing them scrolling through Twitter. I'm like, damn, this is crazy, bro.
Yeah,
So
dude.
yeah, it's
It sucks.
cool.
I mean, it's a part of the game. Shit, obviously, we're the basketball pod, but shout out to 54 yards. They're killing it on the sport on the football side, but like even in football, bro,
Yeah,
it sucks. It's I mean, of course, it's a part of the game, and I honestly think that's what makes LeBron the GOAT. He's injured, or he doesn't get injured to where he's missing half of a season. It'll be a month at most, or a couple months. Knock on wood, because I
yeah,
don't, you know what I
yeah.
mean. But
Look,
like, I mean, his longevity, being able to
yeah.
play what 22 seasons,
He,
23.
he, I mean, in respect to him, but I've also seen him do this because I watch most of the Lakers games. But he takes his plays off. He knows when to go out and ball out. And I mean, even this isn't really about LeBron, but JJ was talking about kind of our team's level of compete. And right now, like we were talking about it a little bit off camera, but the Lakers, like I said a couple weeks ago, they were looking good. Like they don't look too good right now, unfortunately. Like our level of compete like JJ was saying, it's just non-existent. And I think D'Lo, like, luckily, whenever you bench D'Lo, you know, he kind of lights a fire under his ass and he starts hitting threes and he starts going crazy. Then you put him back in this. It's just this cycle with him. But like JJ was talking about it and he was just saying like everybody but LeBron right now. I mean, obviously this was in the Memphis game, you know, when Ja was bumping him and shit. I mean, hey man, you could clip this shit. Hey, clip this shit because you saw it on Twitter, bro. Like I ain't even gonna cap, bro. Like I ain't really respect that shit at all, bro. I thought that was lame as hell. I've always thought the Grizzlies were kind of sus too. Like they were always a team that was just yapping for years, and they ain't done shit. I know you agree with that, bro. Like they've been out west just talking shit, and they haven't done anything, bro, in the last 4, 5, 6 years. And all I've been hearing is how good Ja is, blah blah blah. And he had a good game, bro. It's not to take away from him as a player, but like to do all that shit to like the go to the game, bro, that was crazy to me.
Yeah.
I won't ever forget, bro. I was on the phone with Los with that when that happened, and I was like, no way, like Ja really just did that?
Yeah.
Like live, bro?
Yeah.
Like he's crazy, bro. He crazy, bro. He don't got no rings. Like you were just suspended, bro. You ain't done shit, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, like you know, 3-time, 4-time All-Star Ja Morant, bro. Like his ass should probably be in the slam dunk contest for all we know, but like, bro, dog. And we'll get into his teammate, we'll talk about Rookie of the Year a little bit later because now they're starting to hoop, huh?
They are
Now they're
definitely
starting to hoop. We'll get into that
because they're having to.
Yeah, they're having to for sure with all these injuries.
Next man up type shit in the league.
The Ja Morant shit, bro. I was like, man, I don't respect that at all. I don't know how you feel about that, but that shit rubbed me hella left. Hella left.
I understand where you're coming from, and I especially just because it's like, what have you done? Like that's how it is in any league we're in, right? I wasn't really like, I think I talked to you about it prior to, like I wasn't like super against the Grizzlies like kind of chirping. I think it was just more so like it for a young team, I want to see that y'all are going out there and like you're confident in yourself. But I see where other people like they haven't done anything right, and that's what it boils down to. So I understand,
right.
But I don't know. I fuck with y'all. So
as a competitor, I'm not gonna mess with a team that's doing all that stuff, right? That's chirping to my squad. That's like, imagine if they did that to the Thunder. Jaws over here bumping Shea. I mean, it's a little
right.
But like, it's just like there's got to be some level of respect in my opinion. And even at that time, I want to say, Bron had damn near 40. Like, you can't really do that to Bron because that's Bron gonna go off for 40. Like you were just saying, like Bron's got that longevity to really give you 50.
Yeah.
Still, and he's like 40 years old, but he can give you 50. So we'll see them in the playoffs, hopefully, bro.
That I saw that. I definitely saw that, and I see where you're coming from for sure. Especially like just doing it to LeBron. I mean, I feel like some people it's either you loved it or you hated it type of vibe, right? Because if you're a Grizzlies fan, I'm pretty sure you're like, oh, let's fucking go, let's go, Ja.
I mean, what? But even if you're a Grizzlies fan, again, like, what have y'all done? Like,
yeah.
What do you mean you love it?
Yeah, I think it's just the mentality, right? The Kobe mentality type shit.
Yeah.
Mamba mentality, or
just. But y'all ain't won a playoff series in 3 years, like.
Yeah, injuries, but.
Hey, we'll see, bro.
I don't know.
See. I don't think they would beat I don't think they would beat the Lakers in a 7-game series with Anthony Davis. And mind you, that game we didn't even have AD. We would have spanked their ass if we had AD, bro.
100%, yeah.
But moving on from that, I just had to get on that because I was like, bro, like that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I don't see the need to do all that, especially coming from somebody who I've seen, looked up to LeBron, whatever the case may be.
I mean, we talked about him last week, and I'm pretty sure we'll probably be talking about him a lot this whole rest of the season if he stays healthy. LaMelo Ball, bro. Balling the fuck out.
Bro. I mean, hey, the Hornets are like 3-5 right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
The East is such a wreck, too, that, like, if you can somehow manage to be 500, you'll be in the mix.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, here, let me look at the standings real quick, bro. From the West.
Nah, bro, I don't even think you want to. It's disgusting.
Obviously, shout out to Cleveland, 11-0. We'll talk about them.
Oh,
Nine
man.
9-2, and then it falls off from there, from third all the way down to 10th. It's 5-5,
Yeah.
5-6, 4-5, 4-5, 4-6.
Fucking LaMelo Ball, bro.
LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller has been balling out as well. It's like I was talking to Steve about it, I think, the other day. And I mean, I've talked to you about it, of course. I've always been really high on LaMelo, bro. Like, I thought he was gonna be the best one, like when he was in middle school. So like I knew he was a bucket. It's just kind of him.
I mean,
maturing, and it's crazy because he really plays the same though. And shout out to Charles Lee, the coach.
Yeah.
Shout out to Charles Lee because he's letting them. I mean, letting LaMelo do his thing, which with a player like that, you kind of have to. So.
Well, do you think he's really gonna stay healthy? I mean, I think he should just sit back to backs, bro. Like, again, like they don't really have that much to lose, even if they do lose, because they're gonna get their draft picks and stuff like that. So, to me, what you do is you play for the play-in, and then you play for the NBA Cup. That's all. That's like your season goals. You call it a great season. You know, that's what the Hornets can potentially do if LaMelo's healthy.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, like, he's always been an all-star caliber player. I want to say he's already been an all-star. So, like,
yeah,
it's not even like a question.
Yeah, I think his one healthy season, he was all-star. But like we said, healthy season, right? I don't know, honestly. I hope he does, but I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, no. The interesting piece with them is really just Brandon Miller, right? Like you're saying, I think it's not even really LaMelo, bro. Like you're saying, we've been talking a lot about LaMelo, but I think it's more so just what they can do with the other pieces surrounding him. Because he's, we know what LaMelo is going to try to do, but Brandon Miller, if he can give you 25, or again, Trey Mann coming off the bench, and they just have other guys, like even Grant Williams and Josh Green, like they're not horrible.
Mm-hmm.
They can do things on the basketball court. They're not like winning players per se, but like Miles Bridges again is another guy who's kind of just out there, but he can score on a good night. So the Hornets are an interesting team, man. I like LaMelo a lot, and it's been interesting to watch him like torch everybody. Like again, he's probably the most the Hornets are probably one of the more exciting teams to watch right now, bro.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's like we were saying with the East, if they can be 500, like you said, that's a successful season.
Yeah.
They might, let's say they make play-in, they make the playoffs or whatever, 8th seed. I would say for them that is their goal probably. That is like their that is their championship essentially, because like they've been a lottery team for probably the past like decade, honestly.
And again, like we were just talking about, the East is such a mess, right? That they could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Cavs are putting themselves, like, let's say they do win 15, 18 games straight. Those games in front really matter down the season. Even if they were to go on a 5-game losing streak, like most of these Eastern Conference teams probably aren't going to even have an 18-game winning streak in the season. So
some of them might not even win 18 games.
I think most, maybe not
Washington.
Actually, I feel like the Pistons will this year. They've been another fun team too.
They have been. Shout out to Cade.
Cade.
3 straight games with the triple-double, right?
Yeah.
And then he got the game-winning block and like the game-winning bucket in one of the past games.
Yeah, what do you think about that? What do you think about Cade, man, and JB Bickerstaff coaching up them boys?
Dude, I think it's great. I like it. Cade has always been, number 1 pick. Obviously, we knew what he can be. It's just if they can figure it out. I feel like Detroit has been the culture there. There hasn't been any. It's just been losing. Everyone probably thinks that's an easy dub, but now that Cade is slowly figuring it out, and I think Ivy, you know what I mean? Like they just have a lot of young talent. It's just, it is.
They've gotten more lucky too in the draft, bro.
Yeah,
they really have.
Yeah, isn't they drafted a man, right?
Yeah, I mean that's a fine
Or
pick, but
sorry.
even that lottery ball, I want to say like they were supposed to have the first pick, right? They were
Yeah.
supposed to have
Oh
one of
yeah.
these.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and they
And
have the
it's
fifth pick, not even the third pick or something. Like,
I'm pretty sure that's happened to them like back to back years or something.
yeah, like like I'm saying, like it's like their luck has not been good
Yeah.
per se.
No, not at
Uh,
all.
and they've drafted well still. Like Jalen Duren, Cade, obviously Jaden Ivey, like all of they have players. Like you're saying, they have a squad. They haven't misdrafted.
Hmm.
I don't think really. Like the Pistons used to not be very good at
Drafting.
choosing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've
Yeah.
gotten a lot better.
No, yeah. It's like I said. I mean, I always love seeing the the young teams that didn't do well last year, like kind of over. I think they didn't win 4 games until like
Mm.
January 15th
Yeah, yeah,
this
yeah,
past
for
year,
sure.
and they're already at 4 wins now, so it's kind of, it's trending in the right direction, which is always really dope to see, especially in the league cuz people
Yeah,
are injury away from going on a run or making the playoffs, so
yeah,
it's cool.
no,
I like seeing it, and I guess we
yeah.
can, another team that is kind of for me. Like, what are y'all gonna do? I think we talked about it last time as well. It's like the Sixers, bro.
Mm.
What do you think? How have they been looking? Obviously, Jerry McCain kind of went
Yeah,
crazy last
there's
year.
another team like that. Again, there's a lot of Eastern teams like that. But yeah, the Sixers look. I mean, I think Gerson Yabusele was a great signing. Um, they have like some depth on that team to where I think they are gonna survive. Again, the East is such a mess that even if they can go on a 3-game winning streak whenever Embiid comes back or something, even though they've lost, we forgot to talk about they lost Tyrese Maxey as well.
They sure did.
He's going to be out for a month or two,
Mm,
right? So that's an issue, obviously, because he was playing, I think, the most minutes in the league up until that point.
yeah,
And obviously, that's what happens whenever you have to, he's playing at like 35% usage or something. I'm not sure. Honestly, I'll have to look it up. But yeah, just they're in a bit of trouble, but I feel like if PG and Embiid are on the court together, that should be enough to win you a couple games, especially against some of their like divisional opponents that don't really matter in the NBA for God knows why.
yeah,
But yeah, man, it's they're not how do I put this? Like I don't think they're a championship contending team. Even if Tyrese Maxey and PG and Embiid were all out there, like I truly think it's still going to take 30, 40, 50 games for them to mesh on like a championship contending level.
hmm
Maybe even a full season. So like the fact that they're not playing together right now it says a lot, I think, in my opinion.
yeah,
What about you? What do you think?
yeah. Same situation, bro. It just kind of it sucks. Injuries are what's killing them, but it
Yeah.
is
I
kind of
mean,
it's
yeah.
what who next man up, right? Like who else is going to be the one to step up? And I just don't think they have, like you said, they have decent depth. Like they're not a terrible team, but I just don't think they have enough firepower to be able to
Right.
survive without someone else. Embiid, Tyrese, whoever it is, like. Because Tyrese was playing by himself the first couple weeks, and then PG came back because he was injured,
Yeah.
and then
Bro,
Tyrese
Maxey was at a 33% usage rate, bro.
was at the
Before he got
highest in
hurt.
the league,
Yeah.
playing what, like damn near 40 minutes a game, probably
Yeah.
something like that.
I mean, I've always like it's crazy because he used to play Texas hoops, so like he was in the same kind of not the same like division as us, but he's like in the same like central area
Hmm.
because they kind of grouped like Dallas, Houston,
Yes, yeah.
Austin. So, yeah. It was kind of crazy because like even back then, like he would kind of be doing the same type of things that he'd be doing now in the NBA, like super fast pull up threes, stuff like that. But I'm assuming he would just play all day if he could.
Mm,
Seems like a gym rat, bro.
yeah,
So you probably got to drag him off the court. But yeah, they're in a bit of hot water. But you know that, man. I think Embiid coming back is going to be huge. I still think he's going to go out there and put up 35.
yeah,
Even if he's hobbling left like up and down the court, I don't think it's going to really matter. But Yeah, another team like that, though, similarly, I was gonna ask you too, is like the Bucks, bro. What do you think about them and the Giannis thing that he did, bro? Like, did you see that?
Yeah, with Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that.
Mm.
I don't know, bro. It's we've obviously been talking about the Bucks. You know, they've been a topic of conversation for us these first
Yeah,
couple
yeah,
weeks
of
in the
course.
season, and it's
They
just
they'll continue to be if they keep losing.
it just literally like Dame and Giannis. It's like they're doing their part. They just can't win. I don't know. That's literally what it boils down to. So it's like, what's gonna change realistically? They gonna play better defense or?
I think there's a couple of things that could change. I think they can't. So I think first of all they can't guard. I mean, bro, they can't play defense. Like Brook Lopez, I think, and Giannis really are the only two people on that team who I think Dame is worse than he is defensively, or he's worse this year than he was last year, bro.
Yeah.
So, and again, like his trade value is kind of going down as we speak. It's not to hate on Dame or anything, but there's not really much you can get for an aging veteran who really only gives you something on offense. And honestly, that's kind of like a every other night thing with him. Like he can go cold quickly.
Mm-hmm.
He has those 3 for 15 with 15 points because he got to the line. But um, I just don't think they have a good surrounding team. That they haven't put the right pieces around Giannis and Dame to be successful. And I truly believe that Chris Middleton and Gary Trent Jr. and some of these other guys that they have around them, like it's not enough. Like
Yeah.
I think we've talked about Chris Middleton a lot, but he hasn't been an All Star for 6 years or something like that. Like we've got to stop talking about it. We've just I've seen it a lot, and I'm just like I think I'm done with the Chris Middleton the Chris Middleton's like
Yeah. No, I feel you, and I feel like that that is what the Bucks are kind of like holding their hat on. Oh, we'll just wait till Chris. Like, what do you expect for him to do? Like, yeah, he might get like 15 to 20 a game, but is that gonna, is that really gonna be what put
He's
y'all?
just a zero. Yeah, he's a zero on defense, and like what he gives you offensively is like not like he doesn't shoot enough threes. He still works in the mid range a lot, and he tries to get to the free throw line, which is good. But in today's NBA, like Chris Middleton is not an all star,
Mm-hmm.
and it clearly shows. So, and we have to stop. Like I just think the Bucks should get out of fairyland with that's going to be a thing too, because it
So
seems to me like you're saying they're
what do you think for them? What's their like what's
I think
next?
they're going to like you try to look for options to trade. I mean, what you do have, but
You
I don't even
trading
think
you trading Giannis?
no, unless you're giving me the house, unless you want to give me 4 first round picks and a superstar. Because again, Giannis in his prime is an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
On the right team, he could win MVP.
Yep.
Like if you put Giannis on the Nuggets right now, like he'd probably be in the MVP like conversation, but he's not going to be because the Bucks are 2-8 or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it
and
sucks.
also like if you go and shop Dame, realistically, you're not getting anybody. I don't even think you can trade Dame for Anthony Simons right now. Think about that, bro. Like, because like one of them's like 20 something,
Mm.
youthful. Like he's on the ascent.
Yeah.
Like and the other is on the descent,
Yeah.
aging. Like you
Aging.
can't even trade Lillard for some. I would say no to that, and I'm sure you would too. I'd be like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, no, I
you
agree.
can't
It's
even trade back to Portland, So
yeah.
it's like that's insane. But hopefully, again, I still think like you're saying, like you said at the beginning, like a couple minutes ago now, because I've kind of gone off the tangent. But the point is like Dame and Giannis are still playing at an all-star level. So maybe it's not even them. Maybe you just try to go out and trade away Middleton and Lopez, and you try to go get something maybe in the draft. But
Mm.
yeah, maybe you just ride it out with them. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to kind of see what you think about Giannis because I know he's, kind of that's really their team, and obviously Dame, but like you said, doesn't really have that much trade value. But like Giannis, if they someone offers you a crazy trade, then I mean,
Yeah, like
I
yeah, the
wouldn't be
three. Yeah,
I wouldn't be opposed
I
to
need a
it.
pick. I need picks and a great player.
Yeah, for sure. So, but
Or else
I don't know,
can't even
dude.
talk.
The Bucks, I don't know. I just don't like you. I think we said last pod too. I just don't think they should have fired Adrian Griffin. I think that was a
Oh yeah,
terrible.
you know what? You know what? I think CJ. It's crazy you bring that up because I think even on ESPN they don't talk about that enough. But I think that's the biggest issue for them was Doc Rivers. I don't even know if it's their players.
Mm,
I really do think like you're saying like. I mean, I think there's an ESPN stat. I can find it again. We can post it somewhere up there. But I think Adrian Griffin was like 38-14, like
yeah,
like he's doing fine.
yeah,
He was a winning coach. Um, like to our knowledge, he seemed to be a better fit. And
mm,
it's just a shame that like obviously Doc Rivers' resume, like not to bash his resume, whatever, but his resume isn't exactly spot clean.
no,
Like it's pretty spotty. Like he's gotten, I think he's blown the most 3-2 leads. Like it's a mess in Milwaukee, bro.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's
hopefully they can figure it out.
well, and good, like you said, good thing they're in the East because if they go on a run, they can potentially still be in the mix. Home court advantage type of team. But I don't know, man. We'll
Right.
see. It's just kind of it's this season's been so fucking weird, bro.
Yeah, bro.
It's kind of like our expectations. Obviously we didn't do like predicting or whatever, but I'm assuming you
Yeah.
probably already had your like your projected like standings for the rest of the season and shit.
Right.
And like,
Yeah.
I can guarantee you probably thought the Bucks were probably gonna be like a top 4 seed, right? I'm assuming.
I mean, I had them definitely within my top 6. I mean, again, like I wasn't a huge Bucks like, they're gonna again like win a championship and again like win a couple rounds in the playoffs per se, but I definitely thought they'd be doing a lot better than what they've been doing. And
Right.
like you've been saying, like even like the Hawks are kind of in the mix. Like there's just a lot of teams in the East that it's kind of like this is like the Eastern Conference episode.
Right.
It's kind of like the
I just feel like there's I mean, obviously there's a lot to talk about throughout the whole league, but just with the East, it's just kind of a lot more stuff is in the air. So it's just kind of like a little
the
more.
Knicks too, bro. They're kind of a mess defensively. Like
The Knicks?
Cat can't guard anybody.
Mm-mm. No, they're numbers on the board. Shout out to them.
Neither can Brunson really.
They were talking about like the trade and stuff, and I think they had said one of the people on there said that like Cat. They're talking about like how, oh no, Cat is an exceptional like defender, and it's like, yeah, well he had Gobert next to him, so it's a little easier when he is like supposed to be the defensive anchor. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, he's not able to do that. They've been another team that's been pretty disappointing, honestly.
And to add on to that point, I also think that OG Anunoby, like McCall Bridges, like I don't know if that's gonna be the lockdown tandem of the central. Like
that everyone was talking about.
Yeah, like they can play defense, but it's still like fast-paced NBA. There's a lot of switching, like a lot of mismatches that go on, and it really shows whenever Cat and Brunson are out there. Because again, like I was saying, I think it kind of gets swept under the table, but Brunson can't guard anybody. I mean, he's tiny. Like
Yeah.
no offense to him, but Luka posts him up, pretty easily, or a bigger guard like Shea, whoever, like just in the regular season, especially not in the playoffs. But obviously Brunson is like one of the better playoff performers that we have. I would say he's probably like a top 3 playoff performer that we have in the NBA today. But like in the regular season, it's really hard for them to get wins because their strength of schedule has been pretty hard too. Like they've played some pretty good teams, but they've also played some cupcake teams and lost. So
Yeah, and I mean, we talk about that all the time, right? You need to be able to beat the bad teams. Like,
or like the
down.
teams you should beat.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was gonna ask you that. That's funny that you say that. Like, you think there's a bad team in the NBA right now, or do you think anybody can beat anybody on a given night? Because last year, the Pistons were bad.
Yeah.
But now I think
not
really a team in the NBA that.
I don't think the Wizards are good, but they could still beat
yeah.
anybody. I mean, like you said, Jordan Poole could go off
they still have. I was gonna say the Wizards are like. They're okay. They're better
Yeah.
than they were last year.
Yeah. No, yeah. Alex Sarr's doing good too, so it's like
Yeah,
it's
and
just
Jordan Poole's cooking.
yeah. Yeah, and I mean that's how they're gonna win is because of
Oh yeah, yeah,
him doing
yeah.
good, so but I mean I would say they're probably Portland. They just got blown out
Oh yeah, Portland's
by the
bad. Portland's bad.
Grizzlies. They're pretty bad.
You're right. Portland's the only bad team in the NBA right now, I think. So
Yeah.
like outside of Portland, every other team kind of there's some parity. So like yeah, you really do have to win your games. I mean, unless you're playing Portland really,
Yeah.
or Utah,
Yeah.
um, probably those two teams.
Yeah,
You're
crazy
probably
cuz
like
they're in the West, right?
yeah, but I mean, hey, they still got to play these Eastern teams every couple games. It's like, oh, let's try to go get a W against Utah. Like the Knicks play Utah, I think twice this year, I think, or once maybe
Mm.
one time. But even though that game's gonna be important for them because they just need to get a W.
Yeah.
Like it's really that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who have been some other teams that have been piquing your
Um,
interest lately? Wins or losses or just something you've been
we kind of
noticing?
talked about it last time, but like the Raptors are a really fun team for me that I'm still watching pretty closely. I think the Pacers have kind of underwhelmed a little bit. Um,
I know
maybe a little
Tyrese had
bit, but
a pretty good game, I think yesterday.
yeah, no. He's been doing better. I just think they play like Nemhard got hurt too, but I just think they play a style of basketball that's like it's very streaky. Like it's just if they're not hitting their threes, they're not like a team like the Celtics to where like they have the defense to like really like do that. So they're just kind of bombing away from three, and sometimes that doesn't really always go well. I think Rick Carlisle is kind of like an older style coach, but they've been kind of catching my eye because I wonder how. I think they were kind of the darling team of last year. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, the Pacers are a good basketball team," but I'm not sold on them, bro. Like I'm
Yeah.
not really. I'm not too amused with that, but we'll see as the season gets into it. I think the Mavericks are another interesting team too.
Yeah.
They've,
Luca
they've been
being Luca, right?
KD's hurt as well, so the
Mm.
Suns. I mean, I don't know if you saw, but he had that calf strain.
I did see that.
We'll see. We'll see how the Suns kind of operate. But yeah, those are like the main four teams: Suns, Mavs, probably the Raptors. But yeah, Pacers. But nothing too crazy around the NBA right now, bro. Mainly just I was gonna say, bro, we can probably get into it, but I was gonna ask you, bro, like, who do you have for Rookie of the Year so far?
So far, I mean, like we said, these past couple of days, a lot of rookies have been balling out lately. But I would probably say Zach. I mean, Zach. I feel like Zach Edey is probably up there for sure. Jared McCain was one of those players that I was like, oh, he's kind of going into a perfect situation. Injuries, like without obviously knowing their injury situation going into the year, but knowing the type of players they have, I was like, oh, he's gonna have the opportunities, and I think it's just being a guard in the league is probably the hardest position. Getting his
I
like
think
feel
I think
Reese.
Shea could nah, no, he's not. He's not. I think he's second, but I think he could end up winning, bro. If
He
starts,
had a really good game the other day too. He dropped what like
yeah,
20 in the
30.
20 in the second quarter or 14 or some shit like that. I was watching it because I was like, oh man, this man is balling. Because I was watching it with the boys, and
Yeah, if he starts to find his rhythm a little bit, bro, he can put up points in bunches.
mhm.
There's not a lot of people that can guard that.
Yeah, especially what is he? Does he play at 3 or 4?
He plays both. I think right now, again, like Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, Reese Shea, they kind of operate those guys. Kind of switch them all three. They're all very good defenders. They have length, but
Mhm.
pause. But yeah, I think Edie's probably the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, for me so far, just
Um,
I mean he's in a situation starting center for a team. It's kind of
Yeah, but he's also balling, bro.
yeah, for sure.
Like, he goes out there, he gives you 3, 4 blocks. He's getting you 15 a game. He gives you 6 boards. He's only playing 20, 25 minutes. You could play him 30, 35. He would probably get you 20 points,
Yeah.
You know,
You think right now
not
is
a
it
lot
just his like conditioning? Is that why he's probably not playing as much?
no, just the matchups. I
Mm.
think he can get cooked,
Oh yeah,
especially on
yeah.
the perimeter. Like no, I mean obviously on the interior he's much better, but Jaren Jackson, like you can't just drive by him. But Edie, Edie's a little bit easier to when a guard switches on him, it's like a lot harder for him to stay in front. I've noticed that. I'm sure you might have caught a couple Grizzlies games too where you've seen that where it's like if he
Yeah,
gets caught in the roll, it's he looks a little lost.
yeah.
But it's hard
He's like a
for the
little like
guard.
slow footed. Like I mean, he's a big guy,
Right.
so
Yeah. Yeah. Like I saw a pick and roll with the Lakers the other day, and Reeves came off a screen, and he just like rose up and hit the three. But it's because Edie's just he just makes indecision. He doesn't really know he's backing up, and
yeah.
but
You think they
to
need
your
to
point,
kind of like how the Bucks were playing, like when they went in their chip, like kind of like drop coverage, like with like Lopez when he was like DPOY type players. You think
yeah,
that's how they
yeah.
should play?
Honestly, even I don't even think Taylor Jenkins and the Grizzlies even would like do drop coverage because they're all again everybody on their team is so switchable. Like maybe when Edie's in the game, yeah, like you're saying, like that's the only time we could run it. But outside of that, like I would say the Grizzlies again, they just have a really athletic squad who can kind of switch everything, and I think they're gonna force Zach Edie to learn how to guard.
Mm,
Like I think eventually in a couple years he might be a better perimeter defender than he is now.
yeah,
Obviously,
yeah,
but
yeah,
right now he's gonna struggle, and I think even the speed of the game, like again, like the pick and roll is just something that like he's seen in college, but the speed of the decisions that like these guys make, it's like very quick. So he just has to be like ready for all that. But he's one of the better interior defenders that we have already.
yeah,
Like him, Chet, Wemby, like they all kind of protect the paint pretty well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'd say he's probably my rookie of the year right now as well. No,
Okay, yeah,
but
that's what's up.
yes, sir.
It's interesting because there's just been some, like you were saying, there's been some rookies that have like kind of been hooping recently. So I was like, okay, I think we talked about like the draft class wasn't as strong.
Mm,
A lot of people are thinking for Cooper Flag, but
mm,
yeah, no, there's definitely been a couple guys that have really shined, and obviously Dalton Knecht's still there, but he's not doing anything like too crazy, but he's still there. He's still gonna be in the mix. I'm
yeah,
sure he'll be in the what do they have, the rookie sophomore game.
right.
He'll probably be in there for sure.
Yeah, yeah. He's gonna be in there. He's got to.
Yeah, man, they'll do the little 3-on-3 or whatever, but that's still an honor. That still means you're still hooping. Like
Mm,
obviously, you're kind of next up. Like you were saying, Sar's been hooping too a little bit more.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're gonna have to see how these guys do, man. It's gonna be
Yeah,
interesting,
we'll see. We'll see.
and we'll see.
Did you have
Well,
any other things you?
nah, I mean, I was just gonna say, man. Outside of these injuries, like, I was gonna ask you too. Do you think anybody's gonna be able to beat the Cavs in the month of
November?
November?
Dude, if they keep playing the way they are right now, I don't know. To be honest, I really
You
don't.
think well, the question I had for you was, you think they're the best team in the NBA?
No, I don't think. Just I mean, obviously they're undefeated, so I'm not taking that away from them. But I just still don't think they're the best team in the league.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
I think the
I think
Celtics are
people are kind of
still
jumping again, bro. I mean, this could
recency
even be the title.
bias, right?
Yeah, I think people are kind of jumping the gun on them a little bit, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I think they're good. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, you wouldn't be 11-0 if you weren't good. But I don't think they're the best team in the league. So
Okay.
I just think
Right.
they're a team that's kind of like how we were saying last time. They just have been playing with each other paws for a really long time, and they're figuring out how to like play off of each other essentially. Garland's
Yeah,
going crazy.
I think the other question that I had for you was like, do you think DG and Donovan are like the best duo backcourt in the NBA right now? Because there's been some rumblings, bro. Like, there's not really anybody that has that on their team.
Nah.
You know,
Uh,
I would say so.
I would say so. I mean, who would be up there for you? Who's like the top three? I guess right
Luka
now
and Kyrie.
for sure.
That's probably the only other one I can think of that's gonna give
Like
you
off the top,
the
right?
same amount. Well, I just think production wise too, that's gonna give you at least 20 and 20 each.
Yeah.
I think J Dub and Shea are pretty close too as well.
Yeah.
but they don't really like. It's crazy because with the Cavs, like it's cool in the start of the fourth quarter, they be putting in like DG and Donovan, like they put them in together. But
Hmm.
with the Thunder, I think their rotations are way different. They put in Shea like at the end, but J Dub gets the start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, yeah. They like split times.
Dagger,
Yeah, stagger it.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
But
So
no, yeah. I mean,
that's
I think they're probably the best backcourt right now in the league. I'd say
yeah,
so.
I agree with that too. I mean, I've seen who was talking about it, bro? I've seen somebody talking about it, but I was like, man, that's definitely interesting because like I didn't think about it, but they're definitely producing, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean,
Yeah,
it's
bro.
just kind of what more. I think for me, it's just like if they can, like you said, they're in the East, so them going on this 11 game win streak is already saying something. But like they're setting themselves up so if anybody gets injured, they're still probably going to be a playoff team.
Yeah,
So I think
exactly.
that is, a lot of people say like, oh, basketball, or like a lot of the basketball like right now doesn't mean anything. It's like, I mean, it does, because that goes for you're trying to get a playoff spot at the end of the day, and you can't do that if you're losing all these games. But it's one of those things right now where they are starting so hot to where they can make mistakes middle of the year or whatever, and they still have
We
a
can
good
talk about it a
cushion.
little earlier.
But no,
Right.
I'm
No,
not.
yeah.
I don't think they're the best team, but they're definitely probably gonna be giving teams run for their money in the East for sure
Yeah. There
all
was I mean
season.
there was yeah, I agree. There's a couple things that happened over this past week, like the game with Tatum and Steve Kerr, like the Warriors ended up beating the Celtics, bro. And
The Warriors have been
I want to
playing
say,
really good, bro.
yeah, the Warriors are a good team. I was gonna ask you too, like, man, they're right in the mix, and looks like Buddy Hield is just. I mean, people must have forgot, bro, but that man, he can shoot, bro,
I
for
bet.
sure.
I bet the whole Philly front office is punching the air, saying, "Why couldn't he do this
Oh,
with us?" Right?
yeah, dude, right? I mean, I just think it's the system. Like, I
Yeah.
just think Steve Kerr's like, yo, shoot it.
Yeah.
Anytime you get it, shoot it. Like,
Yeah.
basically, and whenever you're open, because that's what we do here. Um, they're another fun team, man, that I wasn't really expecting when you asked me. Like, I wasn't really thinking about them. I'm not like the biggest Warriors fan, but I know they've been showing out for sure.
Yeah. It's looking a lot like 2022 season, huh?
Yeah, and they're
With
healthy.
Curry
They're healthy.
going crazy, and then kind of like the young guys stepping up.
Yeah,
They have a pretty deep team, honestly. Like
yeah,
it's not a like a Boston Celtics where there's like superstars, this and that, but they
right,
have
right.
players that go out there and know their role, and with that offense and with that player specifically, shout out 30. But
Yeah,
like what it's kind of like their system, like you said, Steve Kerr, they just know how to score points, bro. And going back
yeah,
to when
funny,
OKC
funny.
was playing them, that's why they beat us, bro. Because we were losing by, like I said, 27. You know what I mean? And
Mm,
Buddy Hill was going crazy. I think Steph dropped like 36. So it's like not if
yeah,
you can't stop that, it's kind of. And the thing that I noticed too, the way Steph is, he's making these shots that it's like forcing teams to play not know how to defend. You know what I mean?
right.
Like he's extending the court so far. It's like, damn, like if you don't pull up on or close out on Steph, he's gonna hit this three. But if you close out too
Yeah,
quick,
bro.
then he's passing. So
Even
it's
if it's
cool.
a logo, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. But no, yeah, that was one of those teams that I wanted to talk to you about because I know kind of like last year, or yeah, I think it was last year. We were kind of saying like, damn, is this the end of the Warriors dynasty?
I know, man. They seem to be rejuvenated. There are a couple questions though, like Jonathan Kaminga, like he's gonna get offers, man. I think he's gonna walk just because the Warriors barely play him. Um, I think they don't play. They only play. I think Curry's the only one who's close to like averaging 30 minutes.
Yeah, yeah,
If I'm not mistaken. So that can rub some guys the wrong way. They want to play for contracts. Steve Kerr does have a system, kind of like the Spurs now, where it's like if you go to Golden State, we shoot threes, we run, we have fast pace. We constantly move the ball, right? This the goal, strength in numbers, obviously since, for a decade. But there's the return of Klay Thompson, I think we have this week. We have NBA Cup this week. We got Embiid coming back. So there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about, man, for sure.
Yeah. I do have a couple questions that I wanted to ask you, though. Just, as I was
go ahead.
Throughout the week, I try to come with a couple questions for you. My first one, who or what team that never won a championship that you wish did?
Honestly, probably the Thunder on some crazy shit.
Thunder?
Like in my opinion, I think they were. I love Kevin Durant as a player, but I'll never forget when they were up, 3 against the Warriors, and then, that the series flipped, and obviously, you had Game 6 Clay, whatever the case may be, and then everything kind of changed from there.
Mm.
I still truly believe if he would have stuck it out, like I think they could have beaten the Warriors, and they probably could have beat the Heat, obviously, or whoever they were going to face, and win a title. But in my opinion, it's definitely the most electric team that I've ever seen in my life who hasn't won one. Definitely the Thunder, and it's crazy because now like the most fun, yeah. Like I definitely had the most fun watching them, and they still. Also, the Hornets are another team too where I've thought about it, where it's like, bro, I hope they can win one.
Just like you want to really see it once, like in your life.
Yeah, well, just so they can, I think there's only a couple like Jazz, Hornets, Thunder.
Or Thunder technically because we're the Supersonics, so technically we've won one. Technically.
Yeah,
but,
technically.
No, there's some teams that haven't even sniffed a finals.
The Hawks have the Hawks.
If they did, it was in the '60s and shit.
Yeah, it was
when they had like Bob Pettit and shit like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all of the franchises that we, grew up watching, a lot of them like against Spurs, Lakers, Celtic, like they have so many championships.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting question for sure. I had to think about that one, but probably the Thunder, just because again I've watched them like choke, and it's just like, bro, like we were so close to getting there, like so close.
I got you. Yeah, mine was actually the 2011-2012 Bulls. This was a roster with obviously D Rose, Carlos Boozer, Ronnie Brewer, Joakim, C.J. Watson, Kyle Korver, Rip Hamilton, Luol Deng, Jimmy Butler. It was crazy because and kind of going into my next question I was gonna ask, but I was watching like Derrick Rose MVP highlights. I sent you the video. It was like 3 hour long and shit. I just like obviously I knew Derrick Rose was Derrick Rose, but like that team was like really good. That was the number 1 seed in the East whenever I think Braun had just went to Miami. No, it was it might have been like his second year in Miami, but it's like one of those like damn like forgotten teams, has all the potential, but just couldn't get it done because
ran into prime LeBron.
Exactly,
right.
And that's a lot of teams in the East, to be honest. Like that was just the first one that came to mind because I was like, oh man, D Rose is going crazy, and he had a squad. I was like, let me look at this roster. I was like, damn, this roster is pretty stacked, bro. Like, they had good defenders, really, you know what I mean? Like, and that was back when the NBA, like, a lot of the games were, the scores were like less than 100 points, like for each team,
so
76. Right, yeah. So, no, that was my question, and then my other one is, I think I've asked you this actually, but who do you think, or who has been your favorite MVP? Like who's been your favorite MVP season? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question. Bro, you're gonna like my answer, I think. But for me personally, like just watching, because I was like, I didn't even know this was possible, bro. The unanimous Curry, bro. I didn't even know that shit was possible, bro.
That was a crazy season.
Yeah, the 2016. I think even against the Thunder, I want to say he had that the double bang with Mike Breen. Um,
That bang
when they used to
bang.
like, you remember when they used to show how deep, like whenever they shot it, it was like the red line. It would pop up, whatever. It would show you how far it was.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just watching. I mean, people, we have some like younger audience, like viewers. I'm sure they may not always remember, like people our age, bro. Like that season was like the amount of threes that he was hitting and the stuff that he was doing. Like it just hadn't been. That's why he won unanimous MVP, bro. It was just like it hadn't really been done before. And
Yeah.
then like a close second is probably like the D Rose season. I remember, like I was a kid. I was like 10 years old, bro. But I remember like he was just dunking on everybody. Like it was just crazy, man. And the fact
It
that
was
he was
stuff
like
that we
the
didn't see
youngest,
before, you know.
yeah,
Youngest
bro. And he was the
MVP,
youngest, yeah. Like he was like 22 or
20,
something.
22, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like young as heck. But man, like those two seasons I remember in my head pretty vividly. I was like, bro, this is crazy. Never
Yeah.
seen this before.
Yeah, I think
What
mine
about
has
you?
mine's probably uh Russ when he averaged triple double 2017,
Oh, okay,
2018. Yeah, just
bro.
dude, like I'm
You
telling you,
remember
like
that shot he hit against the Nuggets, bro?
yeah, that was I think that was a playoff berth as well. Like that was like a
Yes.
meaningful game. That wasn't just, you know what I mean? And I think that was the only MVP that was like lower than like a fourth seed or something like that, or like
Yeah,
I think
bro.
they were like the
And I
sixth
want to say
seed.
that game like sealed it, bro. Like it's like Westbrook's the MVP, dog.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
had
yeah.
like 50 and he
Yes,
had a
bro.
triple double.
Yes.
And it was like, yeah, bro. Like, oh, that season was crazy too. I kind of forgot about that. Damn.
That
He
was
had a
also
triple double every game.
yeah, he averaged a triple double. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy that I
Yeah.
think, and for me, it was just the whole story, right? And I feel like that's a lot of like what MVPs come down to. KD just left. It's like, all right, Russ, this is your team now. This is kind of not what you've wanted. It was like after, like right after Durant went to the Warriors, he was like dancing to like do what I want, and like I don't know, it was just the vibes, like that kind of like I don't think I appreciated it as much as like looking
Yeah,
back at
yeah,
it
of course.
now. I'm like, dude, like he was
This is
that
crazy.
team too wasn't a good team like for Russ per se, you know, like there wasn't that
Right.
many shooters. I think the probably second best scorer on the team was Oladipo. You know what I mean? And it's like he's not bad,
Yeah.
but like he's not a shooter,
No, for sure.
especially the way he plays. You know. But yeah, not probably
I
that.
think,
It was just the vibes. Like it was just kind of like damn,
yeah,
like kind
seeing
of
him
it brought back
and
like the oh shit, like we could still win. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
yeah, we got Russ.
of
No,
course. Yeah.
why
And
not? You know?
there was a game, I think they played the Warriors that season too, and that was the season that they got into him and Durant got into like a little like back and forth or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone's
I think
calling
like
KD a cupcake
he's
and
like
shit.
you weak or something, like you a fraud, bro. Like
Yeah, yeah,
we know you're a fraud.
yeah, yeah.
But
No, I feel like that one for me just obviously D Rose is like forever gonna be up there for me too. But I think it's just the situation that we were in, like OKC as a team, and just the fact that he didn't care. He was like, I'm gonna go out here
yeah,
and ball the fuck out regardless of who's on my team, you know. And I think that it just I
yeah.
don't know that I feel like I'll probably watch some highlights of that shit after we're done now because I'm like it just gets me
Oh
hyped,
no,
bro.
for sure, for
I feel like
sure.
a lot of people, like you said, we do have like especially just basketball fans in general. It's a lot of younger audience, so they might not know how he was back then because it's a lot of what have you done for me lately, and of
Right,
course like
exactly.
people, after he went to the Lakers, everyone's like, oh, Russ is washed and shit. It's like, bro,
Right.
I don't know. He's one of those players. That's why I sent that D Rose video to you, and it was like I don't know. They just will always hold a spot in my heart. You know what I mean? Like seeing that for the
Yeah,
first time. Even Curry, bro. Like that season that he was unanimous. Like that, like forever changed the
crazy.
game. You know what I mean? So I think
Yeah, like without a doubt.
for me, like
Without a
with the
doubt.
MVP seasons, it's just like how you impacted not even just
Uh-huh.
me, but like the league. You know?
And speaking of, like, even if Jokic can win a fourth one, I think that'll really kind of cement him as like probably like a top, 5 player ever, maybe, just
Yeah.
because the story, like you're saying, like he's not supposed to win that again, right?
Right.
But he might.
He might, bro. It's crazy. But
So
yeah, that was my
yeah,
questions, bro. Oh, yeah, that was my questions.
yeah, no, yeah, that definitely. I mean, mine was just the rookie of the year, so I'm glad you got Edie so far, and yeah, I let people know that we would be talking about that, so it was dope to hear your opinion on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's been balling out. He's been fucking going crazy
Yeah,
this
he's
year.
been hooping. I mean, we still got a long way to go, like you said. There's been a lot of injuries, unfortunately, but um, hopefully these certain teams can kind of get back on track and we can just kind of hop around the NBA. But we got a lot going on this week, bro. Like I said, like the Cup and a lot of people returning and Bede's coming back and Clay's going to Golden State.
Golden
So I'm
State,
sure
yeah.
they have to contribute and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I think this was a good episode for sure.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, we appreciate y'all for listening and watching this episode of 3-Man Weave. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Go follow us on the socials. We're staying up to date with this season, man. It's exciting. Can't wait. Get better, Chet. But I know the boys are still gonna be balling out. So,
For sure.
This is another episode, and we'll catch y'all next time.
Sure.
Peace.
Yes,
Thunder up, baby.
3-man.
3-man. Yes, sir.